friends, and welcome to day 1 of Halloween Streamfest 2K15. And I thought it would be appropriate to kick off the Halloween festivities with a few things that you might not know about your favorite spooky holiday. So without further ado, here are 8 things you didn't know about Halloween. Let's go! Fact number 1, silly string is illegal, at least in Hollywood. In 2004, in Hollywood, City Councilman Matt LeBlanc proposed a ban on selling, distributing, and possessing silly string on the entire day of October 31st. Why? Apparently, silly string was not only causing a huge mess for city street cleaners the next day, but people randomly spraying strangers incited fights and made the night a little less fun and a little less safe for everyone around them. Good job. Good job, pranksters. Good job. And apparently, the ordinance is kind of working. Who would have thought something so fun could make you so angry? Oh, wait. Yep. Fact number 2, orange and black. Not the TV show, Calm Yourselves. Now, most of you may know that orange and black are traditionally held as the Halloween colors, but do you know why? Well, many people believe that Halloween holds its origins in the ancient Celtic tradition of Samhain, which was a festival to celebrate the end of summer and the autumn harvest. Autumn is associated with a lot of orange things, turning leaves and pumpkins, hence orange. But Samhain was not only a festival of celebration and harvest, it was also a festival of the dead. And black is often associated with death and dying and darkness, hence orange and black. So what 2 colors could be more appropriate to celebrate such a spooky holiday? The answer's none. There are none. Although lately I have noticed there's been some greens and purples and yellows been thrown into the mix there. Good job, Halloween. Mixing it up a little bit, looking good, Halloween. Fact number 3, trick-or-treating hasn't always been so easy. Now, if you don't know what trick-or-treating is, I don't know where you live, but it's where kids dress up on Halloween and they go door to door in their neighborhood and say, trick-or-treat, and then you give them candy. And that's kind of the deal here. Now, there is some debate over the origin of trick-or-treating, but many people will trace it back to the European custom of mumming. Not mummying, mumming. Which wasn't done during Halloween, but during winter. Kids would don their masks, visit local homes, and perform speeches, plays, songs, and coordinated dances in hope for food and drink, and sometimes money. Can you imagine knocking on someone's door today and performing a little dance and then being like, give me your change? That's my kind of world. I'd do that all day. Fact number 4, were you bobbing for apples, or were you bobbing for true love? Bobbing for apples, if you don't know, is a practice where you fill a barrel with water, you stick a bunch of apples in it, and they float around, and then you stick your head in the barrel and you try to get an apple out using just your mouth. You're welcome. However, this wasn't just done for the amusement and laughter of parents everywhere. This was done to predict your future love life. This was serious business. British author W.H. Davenport Adams described this ritual in his book. Once you have the apple in your mouth, you take it and you peel it like so, and then you throw it over your head, and then you throw it over your shoulder. And the way it lands should land in the initial of your true love's first name. My problem as a child was I could never get the freaking apple in the first place. Does that mean my true love doesn't exist? My true love is my hair. Oh. Fact number 5, can candy control time? Oh. Now, this really only applies to America. We had this thing called daylight savings, and in the fall, we set our clocks back an hour. So at 2 in the morning on the set date, we set it back to 1 o'clock in the morning. And look at that, we have another hour. Ooh! Now, it used to be you would turn your clocks back in the last week of October, but in 2007, you might have noticed a switch from the last week in October to the first week in November. This was supposedly done as part of the Energy Policy Act to conserve energy, and I say supposedly because there are numerous studies that show that turning the clocks back an hour in the fall does nothing to conserve energy in the winter. Some even say it makes it worse. Rumor has it. Huge candy corporations were pushing for daylight savings time to be pushed back into early November so that trick-or-treaters would have an extra hour of sunlight to obtain candy. More candy equals more money. Now that sounds a little far-fetched, but listen to this. On average, Americans spend $2 billion on Halloween alone. Just saying. Fact number 6. Maybe Pumpkin Jack wasn't such a nice turnip? Have you ever wondered why we carve a squash with faces and call it a jack-o'-lantern just for this holiday? Well, wonder no more. There's an old Irish folktale about a man named Jack. One day, the devil came for Jack's soul. However, Jack was a clever man. He was able to trick the devil into promising to never take Jack's soul away. And the devil was pissed because he had one less soul that day. Jack lived a long life. When he died, however, he went to the pearly gates of heaven, and heaven was like, nope, you lived a bad life. So then he walks downstairs to hell, and Satan's like, I hate you. Jack has nowhere to go. He's stuck in limbo, in the darkness on earth. So Jack whines about this to his very good friend, the devil, and the devil just laughs in his face and throws him a single dying ember. As the story goes, Jack pulls a turnip out of his pocket and he carves it into a lantern, in which he places the dying ember that the devil threw at him. So he wanders the earth with his little turnip lantern forever. And as he wandered the earth, he became known as Jack of the Lantern, later shortened to Jack-o'-lantern. You see, jack-o'-lanterns weren't originally pumpkins. Carving faces for this holiday was originally done with things like turnips. However, when the Irish immigrants came to America, they found that turnips were a little too expensive, and pumpkins were cheaper and seemed to work better, so therefore pumpkins! And I am Team Pumpkin because have you seen a face carved into a fucking turnip? It's terrifying. Nobody wants to see that. Fact number 7, costumes have changed a lot. Let me explain. Now, we've already established that it is believed Halloween derives most of its traditions from the ancient Celtic practice of Samhain. But Samhain wasn't just a festival of the harvest or a festival of the dead. It was a night when the Celts believed that evil spirits could wander the earth. So the Celts themselves dressed up as evil spirits. They did this in the hope that should they meet an evil spirit on that night, they would just pass each other and go about their business. Can you imagine walking down the street dressed up as an evil spirit and you pass someone else dressed up as an evil spirit, but you don't know if that's George from down the street or George from hell? You never know. And finally, fact number 8, my favorite fact. Halloween turns children evil. No, they aren't possessed by demons or evil spirits, but 2 studies conducted by psychologists and sociologists found that when children are in a group and they have masks on, they are more likely to misbehave. And by misbehave, I mean steal money, take candy, or take more candy than they were originally instructed to. Apparently, when people get in a group and they wear masks, it can lead to a thing called de-individuation, where there is less risk for being recognized for your actions, and therefore, people are less likely to evaluate their own actions. I told you children were evil, I told you! Alright everyone, thanks for joining me for the first day of Halloween Streamfest 2K15. I hope you enjoyed the video, or at least you learned something new about the best day of the year. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 2 of Halloween Streamfest, and I know you don't want to miss out on that. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button in the corner over there. We're gonna have a fun, spook-filled Halloween week, and I'd hate for you to miss out. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media. Currently, right now, I'm mostly using Twitter because I'm super busy. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a spooky day. Goodbye. She goes in there, she starts to watch TV, but there's this clown statue in the corner. She tries to just ignore it, but then it really starts creeping her out. Eventually, she leaves the room and she calls the dad of the 2 kids that she's babysitting. She's like, hey, I can't stay in that room. Your clown statue is fucking creepy. And the dad goes,
get the kids and go next door and call me back and call 911.